Good morning, afternoon or evening everybody. Welcome to part 2 of the scale model build series Stug 41. Last time out we built the kit, this 1/35th scale Stug IIIb from Tamiya. To catch that episode you can rewind time using the link above. This time out we are going to ramp it up with some easy additions, some resin parts, tarps, ropes and some figures. We are also going to build a simple base, creating a 1941 scene for our assault gun to sit on. So, without further ado, let's get cracking. The first addition is some workable track links. As you may know from some of my previous videos, I cannot stand these rubber band tracks that come with the kit. The detail compared to the resin ones is no comparison, plus I love the way the workable ones sit on the tank. I used this file from Tank Brusher that I purchased on Cults 3D. These were printed on my Aligu Mars 3. Ready printed ones can be found online, and I'm expanding my collection on Etsy, so stay tuned for that. This file is actually quite clever in the fact that it doesn't require glue to hold in the pins. They simply push in and snap in place. However, I did find the fit a bit tight. This might be my print settings being slightly out, or the state of my cleaning alcohol. Either way, I printed them all and then drilled them all out with a tiny drill bit. This didn't take as long as you might think, and sped up the construction massively. I build up the track links in sections until I have roughly the correct amount. It's around 95 to 100 links per side on the Stug. When I have enough, I start constructing the full lengths. I always leave a few links loose towards the end in case I need to remove any. When I have an approximate length, I test fit on the Stug. It wasn't long enough on the first attempt, so I add in another link. This time though, I clip the pins in place, so there's no risk of having to remove it. I get the tracks in place, and then loosely fit it for the second time. They fitted this time round, but I wanted a little bit more sag, so I added another link. This time it was about right, especially when adjusted to be on rough ground. The same is then done on the other side. I'm adding some spare links to the front, which was commonplace from the Stugs in 1941. This is where I regretted gluing the pins in place on the tow hooks. This meant I had to cut the links on each end. The cut links are fitted to the end of a run, then this is clipped onto the front of the vehicle. Next up, it's time for some stowage and figures. I got a variety of stowage models, again from Cults 3D, including these bedding rolls. They are printed on supports and simply pulled off ready to be cured. The figures, again from Cults 3D, require a slightly more delicate approach to removing the supports. I cut out the lower section of the supports, then gently pull the figure free. The detail on these resin figures is rather impressive, and the only print issue I had was with the machine gunner's elbow. I cut off the defect area and filled it in with some AK putty. Looks a little rough here, but once painted, it could barely be noticed. With all the parts cleaned up, they are cured in the UV tank. Now they are ready to be fitted to the rear deck. I fit them loosely so I can remove them all and paint them separately. In total, I have a large fuel barrel, some bedding wraps, some jerry cans, which are available on my Etsy in case you're interested, some MG ammo boxes, an MG34, and some spare tracks. When I have a configuration I am semi-happy with, I remove the items ready for the next step. To tie the stowage down, I'll use this thread, which is about the correct scale for rope. I will prepare this later on. Now it's time to add a tarpaulin. For this I'll be using a tissue and some PVA glue. This tissue unfortunately had a pattern on, so I tried to cut my piece with as little of the pattern showing as possible. I cut it to the size I want and play around with the folds and configuration. When happy, I superglue the bedding wrap to the deck as the tarp will go over it. Then I loosely place the tissue over the area and start soaking it in this diluted PVA solution. Now it's soaked, I can start creating folds in the tissue, mimicking the folds you would get on a rushly thrown tarpaulin. You get plenty of playtime with PVA glue, so there's no rush here. It can be folded many times before it cures. Next, I re-add all the stowage to the deck over the top of the tarp. This will create the dents in the tarpaulin where the items will sit. The rope ties are next, which means unpacking all the stowage again, plus the top of the Stug needs removing. I needed some handles to tie the ropes to, so I decided I'm going to make some metal ones. First step is to cut off the plastic moulded handles, which are just plastic blocks, with some snips and clean up the area of a scalpel. For the handles themselves, I am using this florist wire, which is about the right scale for the job. I snip off a straight piece and make the first 90-degree bend with a pair of flat-nosed pliers. Then I measure the handle length in position and make the second bend. I can then snip off the excess, and that gives me my handles. To attach them in place, I drill 2 holes in the mounting position, using the handle as a guide. I left the handle oversized so it can be fitted into the holes. Then finally, I fix them in place using superglue. And there we go. We now have 2 positions we can tie our stowage down to. Now I need to repack the stowage so I can make the ropes. For these, I measure lengths of the thread to hold the stowage down. I tie one end to the towing eye, then loop over and tie it to the handle. Then I get another piece and do the same on the other side. On the final application, I used one long piece threaded in a cross pattern, but this is exactly the same principle. With it all threaded up loosely, I now have my final configuration for the stowage, which I'm pretty happy with, to be honest. The next section is building a simple base for the Stug to sit on. First stage, as always, is to prepare and sketch out what I want to achieve on some 1mm graph paper. I measure out the size I want, draw the circle using a compass, and play around with the arrangement of the figures. This doesn't have to be set in stone at this point, but I like to have a picture in my head of exactly what I want to achieve. Next, I repeat the measuring process onto a piece of 20mm XPS insulation board. This stuff is perfect for diorama building and is fairly cost effective when bought in bulk. With the shape measured, it's time to cut it out using my budget hot wire cutter. This thing was like 35 quid on eBay and is very much due for an upgrade, but it's getting the job done for now. I roughly cut off some of the larger excess foam pieces first, then start cutting out the circle in small sections. The key to cutting foam is to keep moving at the speed the wire melts it. Move too slowly and it melts gouges out of it. Move too quickly and it bends the wire, causing inaccuracies in the cut. If you're finding the Stug series helpful or even mildly entertaining so far, then I please ask you hit those like and subscribe buttons and get chatting in the comments. If you have done this already, thank you. Every hit of those buttons means a lot. With the shape cut out, we can see what the final outcome will be like. Next stage is to unpack the Stug, again, and remove the tracks. This is because I'll be using the rubber band tracks and the Stug to create track prints on our base. These require cutting from the rubber sprue. To add texture to the foam base, I am using an all-purpose filler. This tub is on its last legs, but should be enough for its project. Using a palette knife, I start spreading a thick layer all over the foam base, trying to be as uneven as possible. To smooth down the sharp peaks and get rid of the lines made by the palette knife, I go over it all with a wet sponge. This process is repeated until the whole thing is covered and I am left with a bumpy terrain for the Stug to sit on. Next, I add some track marks using the rubber band tracks. I go fairly light to start with, creating a track in the filler. For the slightly deeper tracks that the Stug will sit on, I line up the rubber band tracks and place this model on top. I then carefully press the tank into the tracks, creating the deeper track marks. I am careful though not to completely flatten it. I still want an uneven surface for the wheels to sit on. Now I can remove the Stug and the tracks to leave behind the imprint. I turn it down a tad with a wet sponge. The final part of the filling on the base is to go around the outside. I want a bumpy surface to paint black at the end. Exactly the same process here, apply the filler, then smooth it down after with a wet sponge. And that's the filling done, leaving us with a good base to work on later. I put the base aside to fully cure for 2 days or so before working on it again. Back to the model now, and I get everything ready to paint. I superglue the stowage and figures to cocktail sticks, then remove the drivetrain from the Stug. All the wheels and sprockets are then blue tacked to cocktail sticks, and the top of the Stug is removed. Then we are ready to paint. And that is where we are going to leave this video. As you can guess, the next episode will be laying down the paintwork and bringing this thing to life. So stay tuned for that. As always, thank you for watching and happy modelling everybody.